we're gonna talk now in a hugely vain maneuver. We're gonna talk about our individual top five lists of all time. We did this separately. I don't know yours and you don't know mine. Well, I think
No,
you've guessed a few. Um,
probably. Yeah.
I thought we'd do. I know I sort of did mine in order, but I know yours. You just kind of picked five, and you had like huge amount of honourable mentions. But I think we'll still just swap back and forth. I think so.
Should we
Perhaps.
should we just go through honourable mentions first? Like,
Oh yeah,
just
that's a
don't
good
don't
call.
give any explanations. Just kind of go through them.
Okay, all right. I'll give a tiny bit of an explanation just for I would say two types of honourable mention for me. One is time played, just in terms of the amount of my life I gave
Oh
up. So I'm
boy,
going to
I
put
didn't
in.
even consider
Yeah,
that.
I'm starting to think Pokemon Silver because I think I spent a summer on that game. Um, uh, I'm not going to mention Destiny. I'm not going to mention Destiny, even though I put 11 hours into 11 days, sorry, into that
I
game now.
was gonna say 11 hours. Are you sure?
11 hours, wow. Smash Brothers Melee. Oh man, we used to play afternoons of that, like on weekends. So it's a crazy amount of time on that.
Yep.
Uh, oh, Advance Wars as well. Advance Wars
Ooh.
Dual Strike. I think on DS there was like hundreds and hundreds of hours on the clock on the menu. It was really that's why I stopped playing basically. Yeah, and I'd also mention Mario Kart 64 for Diddy Kong Racing, and also Civ 3 just for oh good god, oh good god, like I've wasted my youth on that game. Um, yeah, and a few for quality. I'm going to mention just in terms of awesomeness that I could have put on the list. I'm going to say Super Mario World, Half-Life 2, GoldenEye, Metroid Prime, and Akami. What about you, man? Hit me with your honourable mentions.
Oh man, you've got some on the list that I didn't even think about. It's like, oh no, I left that one out too.
I'm really
Right,
curious, actually.
I've got Rocket League and Splatoon,
Of
just because
course.
those two are my top games at the moment. But of all time is a bit of a different story.
Hmm.
I've got Shadow of the Colossus.
Oh, hello.
Yeah, it was a very nice game.
Yep.
Roller Coaster Tycoon, which I definitely put a lot of time into. Settlers, simply because I owned all five of them. I
What?
think there was
I
five
don't.
of them,
Is Settlers like Age of Empires? I've never played it.
kind of.
Okay.
It's more of a more, yeah, it's like Settlers.
Hmm.
It's also like um, uh, I was going to say Red Faction, but I don't mean Red Faction. I mean the other one, Red Alert. That's the one.
Oh, I love Red Alert. I love that
Yeah,
game.
yeah.
Those Russians. Oh God.
And uh, Worms 2
Worms 2.
is my other honourable
Oh.
mention. I definitely put a lot of time into that when I was very little.
Holy Hand Grenade.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and Super Sheep. Super Sheep was
Yeah. Super Sheep.
banana bottom. Yeah,
What else you got on the list? Is that did your honorable mentions?
those are all of my honourable mentions for the
Okay.
moment.
Okay.
Yes.
Interesting. Interesting. Um, I think go with I'm gonna say in order. I'm gonna open myself to hate and ridicule.
Okay, I
You
definitely don't have an order
okay.
because my I'll tell you what mine are. Mine
Yeah.
are like it's one genre and it's my favorite of that genre.
Yeah,
So
I've done similar actually. Yeah.
so I couldn't really order them because of that.
Mm.
So yeah,
Like some games, you could maybe put more than one game in there, and
yeah,
I've limited myself a little bit, so I've got some slightly odd answers.
yeah. Well, with top five, it's there's not many games to have in that list.
Right. Okay. So I'm going to say my number five is Grand Theft Auto 5. Convenient enough. Um, I could have put GTA 3 just because it's so revolutionary. I could have put Vice City or San Andreas, which people love, just because of their character.
Hmm.
But I just think GTA 5 just it's just crazy polished, like so ambitious as well. Like they got this game running on last gen consoles. The 360 version, it'd run. You'd have to install the disc, but also you'd install disc 2, and the other disc would be streaming at the same time. So it'd be coming from the hard drive and the disc drive. That was the only way they could get around the lack of RAM to make it even work. And I just think it's like it's. I just think the story's hysterical. Like you play as three different characters. One of them they made an absolute lunatic. basically to kind of because there's always this weird issue with like GTA when you're playing the single player and you're like, oh, I'm a character with emotions and I'm a complex person, and then just when you're actually playing the actual game, you're just mowing down pedestrians everywhere. You know, you're jetpacking into like military bases and killing millions of people, and it's like they've kind of justified it by putting this lunatic in, like Trevor. You like when you switch between characters, they're all sort of doing something. So like the older guy will be like having dinner with his wife, or the younger guy is like walking his dog or something. If you switch to Trevor, like it'll be doing just really weird stuff. Like it'll just be like drunk and just in his Y fronts, like in the forest, or like one time he's like riding in like convoy with like a load of like pink moped riders and stuff like that, or just chasing someone with like a golf club, all this kind of weird stuff. Um, yeah, no, I just think it's they added like new stuff to Formula, like um, like some characters got like slow motion driving, and like Trevor's got a crazy rampage mode where he gets into feuds with weird people. Like he gets into fight with loads of hipsters, and they all sort of come at you. They all sort of come at you on like little scooters. And, he's like, I hate hipsters. I hate their beards and all these things. And he has a lot of really powerful weed, and aliens come. It's like they've got checkpointing now that works. I think this thing is better than 4. The car handling's better. You've got auto aim and cover system that works, and it's just
Yeah.
I think the last thing I'd say was, other than obviously the multiplayer mode's great, like with the heists and things. We played those when you got like 4 players trying to get through this really complex kind of
Mission.
these co-op missions like bank heists and that kind of thing. The only other thing I'd say about GTA is it doesn't get credit enough for being clever. Like they are so clever in terms of like the satire of just the US. Like it's even or sometimes it's obvious like GTA 4 you had the Statue of Liberty holding like a Starbucks cup. Like stuff like that obviously is crude, but it's just collectively it's just clever.
Yeah, yeah. Just all their little ideas just kind of sprinkled in
Yeah,
everywhere.
exactly.
Yeah, and yeah, just the whole game is polished, isn't it?
Yeah, I love it, man. It's just I put so much time into that. No, I can remember actually, my last year of uni. I can remember I was going out with this girl, and it's like the walk was about sort of 10 minutes, and I'd be playing it. I'd be constantly trying to like finish a mission, and I'd be watching the clock. And there's so many times where I'd be like, "Oh right, I've got to be in 3 minutes." I just turn the Xbox and bolt it down the road. I just arrive completely out of breath, and I'm just like, "I'm sorry, I was working." Worth it, mate. Got all
Nice.
them achievements. What about you, man? What's your number 5 unordered?
Okay. My number 5 is a little game called Puzzle Pirates.
Puzzle Pirates. What
Puzzle
is
Pirates.
this a
This
phone game?
no, it's on Steam now actually. I found it the other day and I was like, oh man, I didn't realize they put it on
Are
Steam. Um, no, it's a game that
you a
um
pirate? Do you play as a pirate? Do you fight
you
pirates?
do play as a pirate and you do fight other pirates.
Do you puzzle?
It's this MMO,
Okay.
um, except it never got massive.
Mm.
So it was always quite
It's a
small and
somewhat
quite like a
online
nice
game.
little huh?
It's a somewhat online game. Somewhat
Yes,
massive online game, yeah.
yes. So there was always like quite a small community.
Yeah.
There was only ever about 1,000 players online at one time. Um, so like there was enough players, but
Yeah.
it wasn't huge. Um, and all the activities that you had to do. So there's like shipbuilding and sword fighting and getting drunk and punching each other up and stuff. But all these actions were kind of performed through puzzles.
Okay.
And so it was all the puzzles that you know. So it's all like Bejeweled
Mm.
and
What's the game with the frog?
what game with the frog?
He
What?
spins around. He spits out balls.
Oh, Zuma.
Yeah.
Um,
I know all the
no,
puzzle games.
there isn't that one.
Okay.
Um, but there's kind of like it's all those little quick games. Um,
So you've got 1,000 pirates, but you have to do pirate stuff. You need to do the puzzles.
yes,
It's like
basically.
Puzzle Quest.
So
Wasn't Puzzle
when
Quest
you
similar to that?
I don't know, I never played it.
That's like a weird RPG thing. Oh, so I can.
So yeah, you like had your own little ship and you'd sail it along and you'd have to do like the carpentry to patch up the ship and you'd have to like fill up the cannons and stuff like that. So like they were all like tailored to what you were doing and they were like puzzles. that were unique to each activity. Um, so it was just a lot of fun. Like,
Yeah. Did,
yeah,
was
the
it like
community
did
we
you
had
did you
it
have like a
was.
little chat? You know, like
Yep,
would you
yep.
do pirate speaks?
Oh yes, definitely. And like,
Yeah, trigger
if you
warning. Yeah.
typed in rude words like arse, it would go up with booty and stuff like that. Yeah, it was.
That's clever.
And instead of shit, it would say barnacle. And
Barnacle.
yeah, it was a good game. I like that game a lot, and I know I've put a lot of hours into it.
Steam
So
never lies with its little
I
counter.
no, well, because I played it when I was about 14, 15, like before the days of Steam. So
Mm.
I don't know how many hours I've put into it.
Oh, that's dark because you have so much more free time back then.
Yeah,
You just yeah,
definitely.
just getting taller. Speak. Okay. I'll do my number four. Um, is The Last of Us. This is a weird thing with this list because I was trying to do this in order, and there's kind of this weird dichotomy between what you consider the best games ever and what you like the best, if you know what I mean. Like I could have chosen like Naughty Dog also does Uncharted, and I love Uncharted games, but I
Hmm.
think The Last of Us is better as a game. It's a weird one to put on this list because um, it was a game that's like so story driven that I played it once. Well, I played it a couple of times for trophies, but you know at the time, and then I've never felt compelled to go back because I feel like it almost ruin it. If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I mean, The Last of Us is it's basically it's a third person adventure in which you're basically playing in a sort of dystopian future where there's basically civilization fallen down. There's kind of a zombie there's kind of a zombie plague it's to do with like a fungus.
Hmm.
It's the cordyceps fungus, which is that that weird thing that controls ants' brains, makes them crawl up the leaf, and then it bursts out their head and spreads. It's
Yeah.
basically the idea is like a human version of that, and you're trying to get around. You're kind of trying to survive, um, but it's it's kind of it's unrelentingly bleak, basically this world, and like from the start. I mean, spoilers for the first 10 minutes if you haven't played this game yet, but the opening to this game is like the first 10 minutes. You're just living in your house like normal, and you introducing this to the main character Joel, and it's like his daughter. Or something. He's like a single parent, I think. He's just hanging around the house, and just there's these just these zombies sort of burst in. It's the next door neighbor, and then knowing what's going on. The guy, you shoot that guy first. The girl screams, and then you're trying to get away, basically, and then basically his daughter just gets killed, like straight
Hmm.
up in the first 5 minutes, and you just like, and that's the intro, and then it cuts to the
Yeah.
title screen. And you're like, whoa, this
Yeah.
is like you were not expecting that from the guys that made Uncharted, and you like I know I'm not one of these people that's like I'm not one of these games of art people that thinks that's oh it made me cry therefore it's good, but I was like oh okay this is really a step up from game storytelling before then, like I'm affected by
Yeah.
this and I
Yeah.
feel this kind of world, and it's basically the rest of the game is you're basically escorting this girl for reasons I won't go into, but it's just this dynamic between you're this old grizzled guy, you're trying to protect this young kid, for in this super dangerous world. And she doesn't remember, like she's been born into this. She doesn't remember anything better, and it's
Hmm.
this weird relationship where you can tell he's sort of coming to see her sort of a sort of surrogate daughter, and it's really weird. I just think it's Last of Us is a masterpiece, but I never want to play it again. Um, what about you, man?
Okay. Um, well, on a bit of a light-hearted note, my number four is going to be a platformer, old school,
Yes,
2D,
come on,
and I was going to go for Super Mario Land, like the original one on the Game Boy,
sound yeah.
because I, yeah, that was one of the first games I ever had.
Do you smuggle it into
Um,
primary school?
no, I don't think I did actually.
Oh, okay. All the other
Yeah,
kids always want to play on it as well. That's the problem. Can I have a go?
yeah.
Shut up.
So it is Sonic,
Oh
for the
wow,
Mega Drive. Yeah.
wow,
Um,
controversial.
I know. Yeah, I just really like all the Sonic games. I started off with number one. I
Yeah.
used to play it after school club
Mm,
back when that was a thing.
yeah.
Um, but then we got Sonic and Knuckles on the PC. Like, I don't know how we managed to get it on the PC, but
The
I'm not.
old emulators, I guess.
I think it was on the CD of some kind.
Oh, okay. I did. Okay, yeah.
I
Please.
don't know how we managed to get it, but anyway, we did.
Mm.
Um, and well, I think whatever hasn't been said about Sonic is not worth saying. So I'm just going to leave it at that. My number
I'm
four
sort
is
of
Sonic.
I'm listening to that with disbelief almost because it's it's like I've never heard that from you before. It's like you've come out
Have
to
you
me.
not? Ah,
It's like you've
jeez.
come out because it's kind of like when's the since Sega's died, the fanboyism has just gradually dissipated, and you just hear people when they say Sonic now, be like it's not as good as Mario. But there are people like you who occasionally come out their woodbook and say I love those games, and like I don't have a strong opinion of. It. I'm like oh interesting, you people exist, and good luck
Yeah,
to you. Good luck
like
to you.
it was just all the like momentum based stuff that you didn't
Mm.
really have in Mario. Like you
Yeah.
had a little bit, like you had to take like a whole square of stepping before you can jump the full distance.
Mm.
But with Sonic, it was you you needed a hell of a lot more of that, and that
Mm.
just kind of made it feel so much faster when you were going top speed, and it was just so
Yo,
yeah.
what's the deal with Knuckles?
What about him?
What does he do? Because Tails can fly. What does the Knuckles do?
He can glide and climb up walls.
How about Big the cat? Is he a popular character? Is he
I
doing?
don't
Can you play as him?
know.
Okay, I don't know.
No. I
I
think
know.
that's after my time. I know they added a lot more characters on in later games, and
What's the deal with? One more. What's the deal with the Doctor Robotnik slash Eggman? Why is he so angry? Why is he the enemy of a hedgehog? What's going on? Did he
what
create Sonic in a laboratory or something?
he created Metal Sonic.
Why does he hate these animals so much? What like what?
I
Because
don't know, Matt. I only played them.
Because like Bowser, you understand like he's always kind of kidnapped Princess Peach, and it's a bit weird. And then Mario has to go to another castle. But Sonic, I don't know about. Uh,
I think he just wanted to rule over the world with his
that's
robot army.
that's a lot more plausible, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay, so my number three, this one threw me a bit because I wanted to put a Halo game in because anyone who knows me knows I'm a bit obsessed and put way too much time in those games over the year. I thought I could have put in one because it was sort of revolutionary. I could have put in two because it introduced online multiplayer. I could have put in three, which I think a lot of people would say is the best game in the series. I didn't. I've gone for Reach, which is I don't know it's kind of a really special game for me, man. I put like hundreds and hundreds of hours. Like my stats for that are ludicrous, like literally tens of thousands of kills. Um, it's Bungie's last Halo game. I argue, apart from the sentimental attachment I have from this, because I mean, I don't know, I had some tough times in uni second year, and I would just ram this in the 360 and just play for a few hours, and it just
Hmm.
take my mind off. So it's just escapism, just because the flow of the multiplayer in that game, like it's just little tweaks to the formula, like they brought in armor abilities, which I really think were cool, like jetpacks stuff like that, just to mix it up and sprint.
Yeah.
But you had to choose. It was kind of either or.
Yeah.
Um, active camera stuff like that. And then the kind of the new weapons and the kind of enemy types, and it's still got the kind of classic weapon balance. Like everything works. The needle rifle and things are kind of counterbalancing the DMR. I like that the battle rifle's not in it because I hate the battle rifle. I think the DMR is a better. It takes more skill to use.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely. It
and
was a
just
good gun, the DMR.
yeah, and then I mean stuff like the difficulty scales for more players. So if you're playing co-op with two-player, like it's four-player, it scales. It tweaks the AI and stuff like that to make it harder.
Yeah.
You've got stuff like firefight comes back, it's more tweakable than ever. You got theater mode and forge, and I just think for me the stuff that what really hooked me about Reach was I love the campaign. I thought it was actually I think the ending is the best ending. It's a hell of a lot better than two when you're like, oh, what's going on? I'm stuck on a ship. What happens now? Um, the invasion mode for multiplayer, I thought that was genius. I spent so many hours on that, where it's
Yeah.
one team Spartans, one team's elites, one team's attacking, and you've got basically three stages. So at the first stage, the defenders is kind of they've got an advantage, and you'll be go and move in to attack and try and capture some points. And then at that point, you're trying to capture a further stage, but new weapons unlock, new that you can spawn with. Vehicles start spawning, and by the third stage, it's crazy. There are aircraft going around everywhere. There are power weapons, and it's just mental. Like the spire level where you shoot up 100 foot into the air, this this giant floating tower, and then the random emergent stuff that can happen. Like you'll find out one time you find out some guy coming up with a helicopter, and then you can just stick him and just see the guy fall to his death, stuff like that. I don't know. It's just I love Reach, man. I think it's my favorite Halo game. So it's controversial, but I'll put that out there.
Yeah. All right. Well, my number three
Okay.
um, is um, a game that me and my brother, we bought this 12 games in one kind of bundle thing,
Okay.
and in it, I only remember a few games that are in it. I have to say,
Mm.
one of them being Thief, and
Ah, okay.
one of them being Theme Hospital.
Mm.
But the one that we played, well, we played Theme Hospital a lot,
Mm.
which almost bumped this one out of this spot. But the one that we played a lot was Dungeon Keeper.
Oh, right. Is that Peter Molyneux? Is that something? Bullfrog or something like that?
Ooh, yeah, it's Bullfrog. It's a
Okay.
Bullfrog game.
Yeah.
Um, and it's like a little dungeon builder thing.
Mm.
Um, and you get more monsters as you go through, and then you have to kind of go defeat like all the heroes and stuff.
Yeah.
And just it was just a great little game.
Mm.
Like you could kind of possess your uh, creatures and use like kind of go into a first person view of it
Mm.
and do all that goodness. And it was just so well done,
Mm.
and the difficulty ramp was pretty much spot on. Like the last level was so difficult
Mm.
especially compared to like the earlier levels.
Mm.
Yeah,
So
I really, really like that game.
is it like a tower defense game?
No,
Okay.
no, no. It's I suppose it's more of a of an RTS than anything else.
Mm.
But instead of um, kind of creating your armies,
Yeah.
you're like building rooms, and you've got a portal that the monsters come through. And when you've got like specific rooms,
Yeah.
the monsters that like those rooms kind of go like, "Ooh, they've got a library. I'm a warlock, and I like to read, and I'm
Yeah.
gonna come and join your dungeon." So yeah, that was a good game. Really like that game.
Like half hour, man.
Huh?
Sorry, I can cut that out. I just just talked to my mum.
Okay.
Um, yeah, no, okay. I would say my number two game. I didn't really have any trouble with my first two games. I think you said kind of similar that you kind of
Yeah.
know your top two if you know what I mean. But second, I wasn't sure about this. It was going to be a Mario game, and it was going to be a 3D Mario game because I'm from that era. I was going to go for Galaxy, but then I kind of changed my mind. I'm gonna go Super Mario 64, which I think is a sound choice.
Yeah.
So this is the first 3D Mario. It's revolutionary, man. I mean, it's not the first 3D game, but it's the first, with an analog stick really that's doing it properly. Whereas Tomb Raider's all sort of D-pad stuff. Um, I just think it's. I mean, it has no story. I just think it's fun, like above all else. Like
Yeah.
even from you turn the game on, you've got the opening like title screen, and you remember like Mario's face, and you can like grab it and kind of pull it, and it kind of goes, it kind of bounces back, and you can pull on
Yeah.
his mustache. I just think it's it's so well done how it translates, the 2D formula into 3D. I mean stuff like secret exits from Mario World. You have like secret levels in Mario 64, like the wing
Yeah.
cap level. When you just look up into the
Yeah.
kind of light comes out, you look into it and you're warped to
Yeah.
this flying around stage. Or for example, there's also the Princess's Secret Slide. Or I mean, for me, the one that really screwed me in the days before the internet was the snow level. I can't remember what it's called. But the one where you have like a hall of mirrors, and you have to like look in the mirror to see what's different, and basically you jump into like a wall, all the other entrances are
Okay.
paintings, and I couldn't find that for the life of me because I was like 7 or something. I couldn't clock the logic.
Yeah.
So, and there was no internet, so in the end I had to like, the kids next door, and she'd be like, "Oh no, you just jump in the wall." I was like, what? Ridiculous, we don't. Um, but yeah, and I just think the level design is just so so good even now. I just think it stands up so well.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
and the way kind of you've got 120 stars, um, but they're all you don't need all of them to finish it. You only need about 70 to do the like last final boss battle.
yeah,
Um, I just know. I just remember it being like so epic when you spin Bowser around, and you smack him into these mines, and then the stage starts falling apart slowly. And then in the end, you get 120 stars. I didn't do it in the original game, but I did it on the DS version with the horrible touchscreen controls somehow. Um,
yeah,
yeah, and you finish the game and the little cannon opens outside the castle, and you shoot up and see Yoshi, and he gives you 100 lives, which really has no it's no benefit to you at all in that game, but it's just cool because it's the sort of thing kids would tell you at school, like, oh, did you know you can see Yoshi? And it's like, yeah, sure. You told me a lot
yeah,
of crap about that game.
yeah, yeah. But yeah, there are so many hidden gems in that game. It's unbelievable.
By heart, that one. That's like the first game I truly fell in love with. I think like, I was obsessed with that game. I had to get a console for that game.
Yeah.
What about you, man? What's your number two?
Well, I just want to make a quick point of like you said the our number one and twos are gonna be like they're fairly set in stone.
Okay.
Um, but three, four, and five are fairly flexible. I think
Yeah.
if you ask me again in a year to come up with a list, three, four,
Mm.
and five are going to be completely different. And talking to you now, it's reminded me of like Lilac Wars and Banjo Kazooie, which I used to love
Yes.
like back in the day. But
Oh, free.
my number two is Smash Bros. Melee.
Yes.
We played like you said before, we played the heck out of that game, and yeah, and
Always link.
got a friend Ed who's getting into it now.
Mm.
He's getting into the competitive side, like watching it, but trying to play and pick up all the moves,
Yeah.
like which we never had. So he's kind of come over to me and he's teaching them to me, and I'm like, oh holy crap, you can do all this kind of stuff, and it's like blown my mind compared to how we used to play back in the day. It's insane, like some of the stuff that they can do.
Mm.
So I've started watching like competitive Smash Melee on YouTube, and it's
Mm.
like, oh holy crap, I wish I could do this. Like I wish I learned all of this stuff when we used to play.
Always like the fun of that game was always like varying skill levels as well. Like there'd be me and you who played it quite regularly and decent, and then
Yeah,
our other mate Ollie who was okay-ish, he played it a bit, and then our mate Rich who was appalling, just
yeah.
getting destroyed. But it was still fun.
I think
Um,
Ollie would beat us quite a lot when he used
it's
Kirby.
always Kirby,
Yeah,
always Kirby. For
yeah,
every game in the series as well, Smash Brothers Brawl as well, he's always Kirby, always sucking you in and excreting you. It was horrible.
yeah. Yes. So yes, that's my number two game.
That is a very solid choice, man. I'm happy I'm with you there.
Thanks.
Um, okay, my number one game of all time is not
Drum
particularly
roll.
controversial. Um, you will see like top lists on Metacritic or game sites, their top 10 games of all time. It's pretty much always there. It's less than it used to be. Recently, I've noticed a disturbing trend of people doing top 10 lists, and suddenly a Dark Souls game or something like that is at the top. And I'm not going to do that because I'm not a hipster. I like those games, but they're not that good. They're not as good as this game. This game is a Zelda
Wait,
game.
wait, wait. Oh no, I was gonna say, can I guess? Can I guess?
What were you going to guess? What were you going to guess?
Ocarina of
Unremember that.
Time.
Ocarina of
Ocarina of
Time.
Time.
Yes, Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, the first 3D Zelda. This is definitively one of my favorite game of all time. Yeah, 98 on Metacritic, I believe. I bought 7 copies of this game over the years. I bought it on N64. I've got it on Wii Virtual Console, Wii U Virtual Console. I've got it in the Wind Waker bonus disc. I've got it in the Legend of Zelda Collector's Edition for GameCube,
Yep,
limited
yep.
edition. I've got it on
Yeah,
the
I've got the same. I've got the
3DS.
same one.
Yeah, so I'm obsessed with this game. It's just same with Mario 64. Like it's bringing a 2D
The
formula into 3D. Sorry, Karen.
the real question is, have you completed it on all 7 platforms that you've got it on?
Yes,
Have you?
yes.
I don't believe you. I don't believe you completed it on your Wii U, which you bought
No,
a
not the
month
Wii U.
ago.
Not the Wii U. I admit, not the Wii U. Um, no, but yeah, Mascos as well. Yeah, but yeah, no, it's stuff like the revolutionary. That it brings in the targeting systems. They're targeting for the first time. That's kind of
Yeah,
crazy. So you can move in 3D space, and the dungeons as well. Like from the 2D games to bring them into kind of 3D and how you think about that. Like stuff like you think how
Yeah.
complicated Water Temple was. I know people have some people are haunted by that to this day, but it's like you think of the three layers and you're changing the water level, to get, and then you have the iron boots you can sink down, and all this is crazy elaborate. Or like the Forest Temple when you've got this weird, revolving corridors and like, the weird wall masters that come down from the floor. The shadow comes in and they grab you and take you back to take you back to the
Yeah.
start of the dungeon. That scared me when I was a kid. Um, yeah, and I just think like spoilers for a 20-year-old game. The young and adult Link, the time travel mechanic, like
Yeah.
how you can basically change between young and adult Link. I think it's 7 or 9 years into the future or something. But you switch between the two, and the world changes. Like for adult Link, it gets darker. Like when you kind of come out of the Temple of Time, when you first kind of awoken as an adult, and the world's really dark. There's like a howling wind. There's an evil red cloud over the mountains in the distance, and there's like zombies in the castle town. Where before there's like do 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 happy
Yeah.
people, happy weird Nintendo people. Um, and then I've just got memories like just getting stuck as a kid, when I didn't really know games. I couldn't get into the first dungeon. You're supposed to find a sword and a shield. I ended up going into Lost Woods because it was open, and I was just trying to get to the end. In the end, I got to the Sacred Forest Meadow just with Deku sticks, and I was beating the wolves and things with a stick. Yeah, and I got obviously to the Forest Temple entrance, and I couldn't get up there. I was like, well, this is about 10 hours time. Yeah, just I mean, other stuff like um, Hyrule Field, going into Hyrule Field for the first time, and it's just this huge open world, and the soundtrack comes in, do 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 do, and there's a giant owl, and you're like, wow, the sun's up, and this is huge, huge for those days, huge field. Where do I go? And then
Yeah.
you try and get to the castle, and the night comes, the drawbridge goes up, and all these skeletons come out. Like, night is
They
scary.
it always managed to be timed exactly that you'd
Yes,
get there and the drawbridge would go like, no, I'm coming up. You're like,
you can only do
no.
if you roll all the way, then you can get in like by a few a few seconds. But yeah, I mean that's one of those games I don't. It's hard really to say why that is genius, but it just is. I think it still stands up now. I just don't think there's a more perfect example of a game. Obviously, it looks terrible now, but I just think that's magic, man. That is my favorite, man. I think it always will be.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not a bad choice. Not a bad choice,
Uncontroversial, boring,
man.
but yeah, good.
So my top game is gonna be of no surprise to anybody who knows me, I
Hmm.
think, and that is Pokemon.
Yes.
Uh,
Are you gonna
doesn't really
choose
matter
one?
which.
Oh, okay,
No,
okay,
I'm
okay.
not. It
Non-committal.
doesn't.
That's cool.
Well, okay. If I would have to choose one, then it's gonna have to be the Heart Gold and Soul Silver
Oh, very
games.
good choice.
Simply due to the fact that you can choose which Pokemon follows you around as you walk around. So having like a massive legendary
Yeah.
follow you around is hilarious. Like or like Snorlax just going like "Roar" behind you is hilarious.
Yeah.
But yeah, those games for me, I can't get enough of them. I like a lot of people like the fighting, the battling of them and stuff, but for me it was always the collecting. Like with all the recent games, instead of just getting all of the Pokemon in my Pokedex,
Yeah.
I've filled my entire boxes of each of the Pokemon. So instead of just having the last one, say Alakazam or
Yeah.
Gengar, I've got Abracadabra and Alakazam.
Oh dear
Like,
God.
yeah, all sitting in my box in order
I'm
of the
planning on dying at
Pokedex.
some point. Jesus.
um, so yes, and the fact that they're releasing all the legendaries with all the mythical Pokemon with the 20th anniversary this year. Oh man,
Are you gonna do
I'm a
what?
happy boy. I'm a
So
happy
how big is the Pokédex you're trying to fill now? How many have you got to get?
721.
How close are you?
Well, I have because what they do is they have a regional Pokedex, so all the new Pokemon
Yeah.
that they've introduced into that generation
Mm.
are there, and then once you've like completed the Elite Four or done something else, you'll get a national Pokedex, and that will have all 721 in. Currently, I have um, almost done the entire of the Pokédex, the regional Pokédex.
Okay.
Um, I've got a lot of the national Pokédex
You
as
got
well.
Pidgey yet?
I do have Pidgey, yes,
Do you
and
think is
Pidgeotto and Pidgeot.
Oh God, do you think this is doable? Because I think we've all had times in our life where we went back even as so say grown-ups and be like, I'm going to do this Pokemon game. I'm gonna get every Pokemon in this Pokemon game. I'm not going to be beaten by this crap. But do you think you are going to do it this time? With all the event Pokemon and all this stuff, do you think you can do it? Is this something you can achieve in your life?
Definitely, definitely. When I've done it, I'm gonna send you a photo. Well,
Yes.
I'm gonna send you about 30 photos because that's how many it's
Every
gonna take
box.
to.
Do you? I mean, I think at this stage you really should be able to send off to like Nintendo or Game Freak and get some kind of prize, like a trophy or something, because it's
Would thought so, right?
oh
But
man,
they have announced a new Pokemon, so I should really get it done before the new Pokemon comes out, because otherwise I'm
do it again.
yeah.
That's terrible. I can't imagine the pain of that when you've just completed whatever the recent Pokemon is, got all the Pokemon, and then suddenly it's obsolete because they've had another 150 or whatever. That must be a pain beyond imagining.
No,
There's another
no, not
Eevee. On the other hand,
yes,
I guess you can transfer your current 750 onto the new one to
yeah,
start.
yeah, exactly.
Is it going to be like? I mean, there was I think it was the fourth gen one, this Diamond and Pearl, where you could import. You could obviously it had the Game Boy Advance slot for backwards compatibility, so you could
Yes,
you could have the DS card in and the Game Boy cart in, and transfer like 60 of your Pokemon a day from that old game.
yeah.
Um, if there's some kind of limit like that, like a few a day, it's going to take you months just to transfer.
No, what they've got now is Pokemon Bank,
Okay,
which is an online storage thing,
yeah,
and all the new games, I think possibly from no, I think it's just from X and Y onwards
mm,
are going to be able to use it. I don't think you can. No, you can't use them with Black and White,
mm.
but um,
Is it?
yes,
Is it? I think I heard like do you know the red and blue ports like the Virtual Console ones? Can they use that, or is it they can trade to the
yes,
games?
yes, they can
That's
use them.
crazy.
Yeah, yeah, it is. So I think what they've done is just um, taken all the just just they've just rebuilt it basically because
Yeah.
I'm fairly certain it's not going to take them long to rebuild it, rather than get the old game code and use that. I think they've just rebuilt it quickly.
Yeah. No, I can remember the magic actually when they just, when they brought the first fourth gen ones. You go to a website that basically shows you all the trades going on, online in the world. There'd be like a little Pidgey would go on a ball in Tokyo and it would hop over to New York. It was really cool. But, and you see all their really inappropriate nicknames, they're being traded.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. No, man, I cannot dispute that choice. No one can. That's a beautiful exercise we did there.
Yep.
Um, Right. So if you enjoyed the podcast, please like and subscribe. We are small fry, and we want love and affection.
We're
Uh,
smaller than small fry.
we're not. Yeah, we're like a little plankton that the small fry eats, via like a water boatman or something like that. Uh, okay, cool. Okay, cool. And with that, I will end this duck-based video game podcast. Bye.
The duck-based video game podcast that we have not mentioned duck games at all, including Duck Game. We
Don't
should.
question my logic. What do you mean duck game? What are you talking about?
There's a game called Duck Game,
God damn it.
and my little cousin annoys the hell out of me every time we release one. 'Cause he's like, "Why? If you're the number one Duck Game podcast, why haven't you mentioned Duck Game yet?" And I'm like,
We
"I
need
don't."
to review Duck
It's a
Game
joke.
next
Yes, we do.
episode.
We do. We do.